Hello and welcome to day 313 of doing pull-ups every single day until I beat the pull-up world record. Today I did 798 pull-ups, and since the challenge started I've done 71,675. I'm recording this stock video on the day after I did these pull-ups because yesterday I did not have time. These pull-ups were relatively easy. If I had to rate them on a difficulty scale, I'd go with a 4 out of 10. They were just harder than yesterday's because I was just a bit more tired. That's it. And you know, the days are stacking up. I'm getting more sore, more exhausted, and I guess the sleep just wasn't as good to recover as much as I needed to have a better day than the previous one. So it's fine. Yeah, a pretty simple day, but another good day. The goal is that on day 314, which is today for me, hi, recording the video in the corner, not the person doing the pull-ups. That was me yesterday. I guess I'm probably gonna do over 800, which is good. Actually, yeah, I didn't even think about this. Yesterday's 798 pull-ups is the second most pull-ups I've ever done in a day. So, and the day prior to that as well, because the most pull-ups I've ever done in a day were 1,000 on day 104. So, and I believe that the second one before that was like the 600s and the 700s. So every single one of these 700 pull-up days that I've been doing have been the second most pull-ups I've ever done in a day. So the 735, the 756, the 777, and today's 798. So yeah, that's pretty significant. And I'm not just doing them once. I've been doing 700 pull-ups for 4 days straight. That is pretty dang good. So if I do over 800, like I'm planning to on day 314, that will mean that this is the second most pull-ups I've ever done in a day. That is very good. For those of you curious, I am currently averaging, since the start of this challenge, 228 pull-ups a day. Yeah, that is pretty insane. And you know, it finally feels good to be back on being objectively progressing. Because when I look at the charts I have with the pull-ups, I do have charts with every single day of my pull-ups, so I can actually see how the chart looks and actually see objectively if I'm making progress. Because at times before I had these charts, I felt like, and you don't want to feel like anything. You don't want to feel like you're making progress. You don't want to feel like you're not making progress. You want to know for a fact. And these charts that I have tell me for a fact, this is not something that you can argue with. Am I making progress or not? You just have to look at the chart and it's pretty easy to draw a fucking conclusion. And facts now is that I am the best I have ever been by a long shot on these pull-up challenges. And even though I struggled with injuries just like 2 weeks ago, the fall off that I had was so minuscule, which obviously, even though I think I could have dealt with the injury much better, even despite that, the way I handled it barely made a nint on the challenge. So that makes me pretty proud, just looking at this chart and seeing that it's going literally like this. Then I had the injury and it went like this, and now it's going again like this. So that is very good to see. And I think this is it for today. I hope you have a nice day, and I hope I see you tomorrow.